Ideomotor signaling, I generally use it with the fingers, okay? And I generally use it, I'll reach over, and the big way that I use it is, this is for our tape here, the way I use it is to ask questions of the client's or subject's subconscious mind, okay? And the two biggest questions I like to ask the person's subconscious mind is that after I've given them all their suggestions, I've gone through basically my suggestions part of the session, and I want to ask them, listen, is there anything in between us making this all happen right here and now? Is there any objections that would prevent you from carrying out all of these suggestions exactly as I've laid them out to you? Okay, and I want the subconscious mind to answer me, right? Because people have, even though they're in a state of somnambulism, they will be in and out of a level of conscious mind. Their conscious mind isn't totally gone, okay? It comes and goes, all right? And their conscious mind could respond to you. However, when you use ideomotor signaling, you're asking them for, and I'll reach over, and exactly what I'll do, and I'll show you, is they'll generally have their hand, okay, on the arm of the chair, or they may have it in their lap. And I'll reach over and I'll take a finger, and I'll say, I'll ask them a question. I'd like to ask, and usually the way I word it is, I'd like to ask your inner mind, okay, which is the subconscious mind. Is there anything that would prevent any of these suggestions from being carried out here today? Something right along the gist of that. I want to see if there's any obstacles. Is there anything that's going to get in the way of what we did here today? And then I reach over and I touch their finger. Okay, if they have both their fingers out there, I'll usually go for the index finger of either hand. And I'll say, and your inner mind can answer me by just lifting this finger, and I'll show you, just sit still there. And then you sit there and you wait and you watch the fingers. And generally you'll see that finger come up and it'll be very jerky. And the jerkier it is, the more subconscious mind is involved in that. If you see somebody go like this, that's too much conscious mind. Sometimes that's all you're going to get from them. But when you see the one come up jerky, you know you got people with minimal conscious mind involvement. Okay.
What was your definition of ideomotor signaling?
That would be thought to action. Thought to bodily action. Okay. You're going from their subconscious mind and the thought, the idea. Okay, is there anything in the way? And you're trying to communicate with their subconscious, because that's the one you're dealing with. You don't want a conscious response. A conscious response would be, geez, I don't think so. Let me think for a second. I can't think of anything that would be in the way of us doing this. That's not what you want. You want yes or no at its most basic level. And the basic level you can get is those fingers. Then the next question I asked is, I'd like to ask your inner mind, if your inner mind will accept all these suggestions I've given you right here and now and carry them out every day in every way for you. And I'll reach over and your inner mind, and then what I do is I sit there and I watch those fingers like a hawk, because sometimes it'll take a few seconds. It's not going to be instantaneous. If it's instantaneous and they put their finger up like this, that's too much conscious mind.
Play devil advocate here. If after the first question you asked if there would be any obstacles that would prevent them from, and they signaled yes, would you ask them at that point?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a good question. I was going to come to that. But absolutely, you want to know what it is. Because if their subconscious mind has objections to carrying out these suggestions, or something's in the way of it, right? Which it is sometimes. Sometimes the answer to that question is yes. Most of the time it's no, right? But I'd say 2 or 3% of the time, probably, you're going to get a no. Okay. And then what I do is I say, would your inner mind be willing to let you know the nature of this objection? And then I go to the fingers again. Your inner mind can answer me yes with this finger, no with that finger. All right? And generally it'll come back yes.